Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, you know, Murphy's Law, if something can go wrong, it will. And if it's 99 to 1 that something will go right, just the fact that it's that one, it will also go wrong. So I want to tell you what Murphy did to me when I was publishing my book. There were 3 different manuscripts that were working in 3 different departments. One of the departments was the legality department, and I had to go back and forth about the different names that had to be changed, the places that had to be changed, and on like that. And the other script was a script that we worked on and had it edited, really clearly, beautifully edited. But when it all came down to the printing, and I thought we had, they had the right script, they printed the wrong one. I sold 100 books here that are filled with typos and mistakes. Just want to say, if you got one of those books, Escape to Another Reality, bring it to me. I've had it reprinted. I'll give you a fresh copy that doesn't have all the typos. And that's how Murphy gets me. Ministers are not excused. Murphy prevails. All right, is there anybody here from another unity? All right, what unity are you from?
Columbine.
Columbine Unity. Welcome to Boulder. I know, good. And is there anybody else? We have a gift for you. Keep your hand up. There you go. Anybody else? What about anybody here for the first time? Okay. All right, anyway, you are here to share in the beautiful ideals that all of Unity shares in, that we are always in the presence of that divine intelligence and love we acknowledge to be God. And you are surely going to enjoy this talk about to be given by Santisha.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Boulder. Those of you who are here in person with us, or those of you who are joining us online, thank you for spending time with us. Wendy Littlepage, I'd love to have you just randomly come on up here. I'm going to do a new thing where I just start randomly calling people out of the crowds to stand next to me while I do announcements, just to see who can handle it. Wendy here, this is Wendy Littlepage, and she's going to be teaching homeopathic first aid. I'm going to let you talk more about it than me. All right.
Good morning. Coming up on June 11th, that's a Sunday, and then we're going to repeat it on a Tuesday evening, June 13th. I'm going to do a homeopathic remedy class for summertime maladies. So I want to give you sort of a rundown so you'll know what I'm going to be giving you remedies, just teaching you about remedies that you can use for things like burns and sunburns, insect bites, bug stings, poison oak, poison ivy, motion sickness, indigestion or food poisoning, wildfire smoke, heat exhaustion, sprains and injuries. And then, since we've all been going through such trying times, I want to make sure you have some remedies for things like shock, trauma, overwhelm, grief, anxiety, and depression, since we're all here part of this changing and evolving world. So, hope you'll join me. We're going to be very remedy focused. We're not going to do so much on homeopathic history, not so much on homeopathic principles, but just a dive deep into remedies that you can use right away.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy. And once again, that first class is going to be Sunday, June 11th from 1 to 2:30, and that'll be here in person only, but then she'll be redoing the same class that following Tuesday, June 13th, 6:30 to 8. She will be doing it here, but it'll also be a hybrid, and you can sign up to take that online from your own home or wherever. That's $35. You can sign up for it in the bookstore, online, or on our website. Ask if you have any questions about it, and we can get you the answers. Coming up also in June, we have a Qigong workshop by Italian Qigong master Francesco Garipoli. We've had him here the last few years. He ran a very successful Qigong workshop last year. It's going to run from 12:30 to 2:30 on June 25th. It's $45. He's only in the States once a year, so this is your one chance to get a chance to meet this master. He's an absolutely lovely man. So definitely check that out. Today, we have our Conscious Communication drop-in workshop led by Steve Hayes. That's at 1 o'clock, and that's downstairs for a $10 suggested love offering. And what the Conscious Communication is if there's someone you're having trouble communicating with, or you're having trouble with the way people are communicating with you and would like to kind of make amends with that, this is a great class to find tools, and Steve's a wonderful teacher at that. So that's today at 1. I'd also like to recognize our YOU, that's our high school age congregation, out here in the lobby. They probably greeted you and handed you one of our programs for today. They're also holding a bake sale following this service, and that bake sale is to raise funds for all the fun stuff and spiritual stuff they're going to do this summer, like go to rallies and meet kids from other unities and other fun activities. So please go over there, get some baked goods, try out the Rice Krispie treats. I saw them being made in my kitchen last night. They look awesome. I'm looking at you back there, Katya. So go over there, get some baked goods. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Unity today. So this is our moment for a call for prayer. If you have a prayer for yourself at this time or for someone else, there's little sheets in front of you, in the pews in front of you, and you can just write a name on it. We don't have to write what the issue is. We know Spirit already knows what we need before we ask. And so you ask me, why do we pray? We pray to step into the development that we are, which is spiritual first. We are the mystics in our own lives, and we can bring the healing to anything that's happening in our lives. So write your friends' names down. Anybody that's facing any discord or limitation, we know that Spirit can bring them back to homeostasis and balance and wholeness. And we do this by singing a chant, and we invite you to sing with us. I want to introduce you to Steve Sheets, who's the head of our prayer team. He will go down the middle aisle, so make sure your prayers get to there, and he'll put them in the prayer box, and they'll go into our main prayer box and be prayed over for a month here, and then they'll be sent to Silent Unity and prayed for another month. So please just submit whatever you want, and you can also put it in the universe. The universe knows as well. So join us to sing. They say to sing is to pray twice. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence So it is. And now we have a chance to listen to our in-house most amazing singer in the world, Marcy Baruch and band.
Good morning. This is a song written by Olivia Newton-John and Amy Skye, and it's called Let Go, Let God. When you can't find your direction and your heart won't guide you home, let go and let God. When your dreams are broken in the dust and you've lost the will to trust, let go and let God. Let the signs remind you we are passengers. Let the signs remind you to surrender, to surrender. Let go and let God. Nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo. When faith's the dying fire and there's no spark to feed the flame, let go and let God. When your courage fails you and the well of hope runs dry, let go and let God. Let the signs remind you we are passengers. Let the signs remind you to surrender, to surrender. Let go and let God. Nam yo renge kyo, 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 nam yo renge kyo. Let the signs remind you we are passengers. Let the signs remind you to surrender, to surrender. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Let
ourselves to just stay in this silence. Thank you. Well, good morning. That was an amazing way to start. What a voice. She sings like an angel. I want to just really quickly break down Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. It's a vow, an expression of determination to embrace and manifest our Buddha nature. It is a pledge to oneself to never yield to difficulties and to win over one's suffering. At the same time, it is a vow to help others reveal this law in their own lives and achieve happiness. I was thinking about this because Marcy and I were talking about it before the service, this chant, this affirmation people use in meditation quite a bit. And I have a memory because my brother Del, Big Tree, was really into Buddhism for a while, and he had one of those prayer closets that you'd sit in front and he would do the Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and was using it in his life, and he swears that's when he shifted from where he was in his life, feeling pretty stuck for years, and everything opened. All of the channels, all of the doors of his life, all of what he was put here as a purpose in this world happened by him using that affirmation. And that prayer box lived inside the living room of his home in Los Angeles, in the outskirts of Los Angeles at the time. And that house actually burnt down. And the only thing that was left was that prayer closet. And it was a wood house, and that's not the house he lost in Malibu, too. He's lost 2 houses in fires out in California, actually, which is, we can't all say that, and we wouldn't want to have to say that. But he's still at the prayer closet, and his life is still unfolded in a beautiful way. So the idea of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is you look at the issues that are in your way, the walls, the limitation, the fear, the something that's keeping us from stepping into the next phases, the next unfoldment. There's something that you're ready to step into, and yet somehow it seems to be a boundary between you and what you're feeling the urges to get to. So you visualize where you want to get to. What is the feeling of where you would be? Like when you get there, what would that feel like? What does that look like in your mind's eye? What does that sound like? Like what are all of the vibrations of where you want to get to? And then when you get kind of a big picture of the mind, body, feeling place, you say that chant and you see yourself moving through the boundary. So what happens is usually the boundary has nothing to do with God. What it has to do with is our own traumas or our own lack of self-esteem or something in us that doesn't believe we can step into this beautiful field of light, right? And I know that many of us are in that right now. I know I am actually in a phase where there's this vastness in the universe right now that kind of feels like it just keeps going at the same level, and I'm having a hard time overcoming to this next thing. So I always speak to what I'm facing in my own journey and my own unfoldment. When we're in the deep, dark winter months, which we got a lot of those this winter. We had the most beautiful fall ever, and then a winter that was just Michigan-like, right, or Minnesota-like, freezing. And, we always know that when we go into those dark winter months, we go inside. We go and visit the unhealed places in ourselves, the shadows in ourselves. We start to think about what we want to birth in the spring. We start to put away of what we've unfolded for the last summer and how we can do more of that the next summer or the next spring. And so we meditate in it. We are visiting with ourselves because we don't have as much outer play with friends, outside energy, sunshine, all the things that just keep us feeling so happy and wonderful. Winter kind of makes us have to face ourselves and to even know ourselves a little bit more and a little bit more deeply. So now we're in the springtime. We've had all those seeds that we planted in the winter, and now are we watering the things that we came to? Are we watering the things that we're ready to have actually grow? Or are we finding ourselves hitting roadblocks against those before they're going to grow? And that's kind of what I have had in the last few weeks. So my talk title today is The Most Nurturing Journey is from Head to Heart. The most nurturing journey is from head to heart. Some people say the longest journey is from head to heart, but I don't like that. That doesn't feel like a positive statement. That makes it sound like it's difficult. And we tend to do that. We tend to put roadblocks in our way to say something is hard to do versus it's easy, right? Whether other people believe that it's hard or easy, we get to decide if we're going to be in ease and flow about this process from head to heart. But we do know when there's stumbling blocks, it's probably because we're intellectually trying to figure out how to spiritually break through something, in this human world, and yet we're using this human faculty, which is the mind, and we're not from the vibrational part of ourself, which is the soul, which is the heart, that already knows how to move through the limitations and the blocks at hand. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about religion versus metaphysics versus mysticism. My goal in my work in Unity very much is to step into the mystical. I really am not one to sit in doctrines and get stuck in barriers and strongholds of how we move in and experience God as us in expression. I just want to stand on the same level as you and mirror with you so I can be mirrored from you all the power that you have in you. I don't have anything different than you do. I am just a mirror to remind you of what's already residing in the powerful being that you are. And I get that from you when I walk off this platform and I talk with you. You guys share stuff with me that's like, that's just what I needed to hear, just to kind of move me around some limited belief or some limited something that's keeping me from my unfoldment. So we're going to talk about the heart and the power of the heart, and then we're going to talk about religion versus metaphysics versus mysticism. I want this place to be an experiential experience. I want people to leave here and feel God. I don't want to talk at you and speak at you. I hope that what I'm sharing with you evokes a memory in you that shows you, oh, I've got that. I've experienced that. Oh, that's right. Spirit is good. Spirit moves through me. There are no limitations. So there's a space for peace to prevail in the silence of the heart in every living being, entity, and life form right now. This is our chance to be the light and the love that inspires a newfound peace in our day to day. A time to cherish this life, this love, this heartbeat. And it's our time to visit her soul urges, Spirit's masterpiece in the twinkle of our own eyes and in others. It's springtime. It's a time to observe the gentleness of creatures and the mother, baby, fawn, the buzzing of the bees from flowers into the different nectars. It's to soften into the beauty of what this life gives us all the time as a mirror. We can follow human mirrors and we can help each other, but when you look at the cycles of life and you look at what God has shown us, could there be another heaven that would be any more beautiful than what's in the midst of us right now? If we're experiencing something different from what we're seeing in this beautiful nature and these beautiful green mountains that look like Ireland, when we look around at the babies and the children laughing and the beauty around us, then we're signing up to look at the intellectual human experience of what's happening in the greater picture of the world, which is all the human beings that have destroyed things since time began. Instead of resonating from the heart with what is the beauty, the light and the love that will restore this planet and this world to balance. Teilhard de Chardin says it this way: love is the energy that seeks first to lift each person into wholeness. And second, it seeks to bring each person into harmony with all other people. Chardin is saying love is an energy. It's an energy that's already there within you. It's there to lift you up, to bring you into wholeness. And once you are whole, it is there to be used to harmonize your life with others. Right? So it's not when we sort of feel like being connected with our love energy, right? We're like, oh, well, I feel that love energy when I'm at Unity Boulder or when I'm at the Ideal Market and I see my favorite people that are working there and we're in this love energy. It's that love energy that we have to bring to the places that are challenging us, The relationships in our family that are challenging us. How can we bring more of that love energy to it? Because it's not about like compartmentalizing love into certain places. It's a consistency. It's a beingness. When we live in the state of love, nothing can hurt us, make us afraid, make us sick, or take anything away from us. We're in the vibration of God. Being in the vibration of God just means you have to be in the silence more, walking gently in nature, remembering the power that lives within us, the love power that lives within us. And if we're feeling anxious and we're feeling stressed or we're feeling anxiety or we're just, panicking, then we're stuck in the intellect. We are looking into a future that's not known yet, or we're looking back at the past, which is over, and it's an illusion. Whenever you're in panic or in anxiety, you're looking into a future that hasn't even been birthed yet. Or you're looking back at traumas from the past and bringing them into your presence. But in the presence, we cannot have anxiety or stress. In heart math, they say this. The heart is about 100 times stronger electrically than the human brain, and the heart is about 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the human brain. So if we are going to create an electrical or magnetic field that affects our reality, it probably can be done with thought. But that is why it is so much more difficult. It's much easier to feel the feeling with our hearts. So our brains create the image. We model. We simulate with our brain. What is it I would like to see? What is it we would like to experience? And once we have it locked into place, we can feel the feeling of gratitude and appreciations for what has already happened. Okay, so this is what he's saying. You're using your mind. We need our mind. We can come into a visual and even an affirmative message about what we want to see in our life, what we want to create. But then it can't just stay there. It gets locked up there. The law of attraction doesn't work because you know what? We attract who we are. This is where the law of attraction has gotten it wrong. This is where Esther Hicks has gotten it wrong. This is where all of the law of attraction teachers have missed it, because the truth is you can't think it into existence. You have to be it in existence. So it's a much bigger step. So that's why they say it's such a hard, long step between the head and the heart. No, but the most nurturing step is bringing it from head to heart. The heart is saying thank you that it's already coming. In the Bible, it says God already knows what you need before you even ask. Well, then why do we even ask? Because we're the ones that's keeping our separate and apart from this greater honorable universe that's always saying yes to us. Always saying yes to us. So what are you saying to the universe? Right? What are you saying to the universe? Like if you're saying, I'm sick of not having any money. I'm sick of not having any money. And the universe is saying yes. Yes. Does that move money into your life? It's validating, yes, you're sick of it. And you're going to keep being sick of it if that's where you're going to sit. But if you feel from a place of, I'm so grateful. Everything is coming my way. Everything is always working out for me. Affirming your good, affirming this beauty, affirming your health, affirming your love, affirming whatever it is that you're desiring in your life, and being in gratitude that it's already coming, then there's nothing that's pushing up against it and saying no to it, right? We have to look at what we're sharing when we say, I don't have any money for that right now with our kids. Guess what? You're going to keep not having money for that. We don't realize how often we say things to the universe, and the universe is going, yes, you don't have the money. So how do we change that? How do we switch that? And we can change the wording, which is still heady, but then we have to feel it. We have to believe it. Because a lot of times we can't feel it or believe it because we don't believe we're worthy. We don't believe that we're enough to have it. That's such a big part of what stops us from connecting to this divine energy that's moving in and through everything. So we have to work on knowing thyself and loving thyself and being thyself, truly. Stop looking for other people's opinions about who you are. Your opinion of yourself is the most important thing, and that should be just pure, like, adoration. In the book Journey to Awakening by Mary Nelson, which is a friend and a woman that attends this church, she wrote this beautiful book, and she writes this: "The natural result of traditional religion is struggle because of its implicit belief in separation and sin consciousness. The goal is to reform or fix oneself. Traditional religion can be a starting place, but we must become aware that it is not necessarily the finish line. Metaphysics depends on universal principles, which can create specific outcomes on the earth plane, because spirit is energy. Metaphysics uses the laws of cause and effect. Our energy, thoughts, behaviors, and actions create specific effects that manifest our lives as we know. In metaphysical practice, it is necessary to actively work the law through practices like visualization or affirmation." So again, visualizations and affirmations, again, are still in the mind, right? Speaking to it. Now we got to move it down further, but we're still there when we're in the metaphysics. The downside of metaphysics that may trap us within the struggle of a self that keeps trying to use divine power, we continue to live in duality, even if we obtain success in manifesting along the way. The third spiritual path is mysticism, entailing the loss of self. Mysticism means allowing oneself to let go of a personal identity. Mystics have insight into mysteries transcending ordinary human knowledge. They often live from a direct communication with the divine, and they experience immediate intuition. The ego disappears and divine consciousness flows through the human expression. Eastern religions are primarily based on the ideal of no self. However, contemplative Christians who have experienced non-dual consciousness have also been mystics in union with God. Figures like Thomas Merton, Thomas Kempis, Meister Eckhart, and Mother Teresa were mystical Christians. So I wanted to share this video that I came across of a man named Father Sean Olar, a priest barred from the Catholic Church for his discovery and belief in reincarnation, and he shares this powerful reality from his past life regression.
I had this experience of being a young Tibetan woman giving birth to her firstborn child. And it was so real, I literally had pains in my thighs for 4 or 5 days afterwards. And this totally rocked me because it was an experience. And I know from epistemology that there are 3 ways we know stuff. The first one is an authority figure tells us and we believe them. The second one is we experience stuff for ourselves. And the third one is, we figure stuff out on our own. And so here was an experience I could not doubt. It was absolutely real. And subsequently through self-hypnosis and through visionary experiences, I've recovered memories from about 11 other lifetimes. And so I had no doubt whatsoever that for a whole bunch of reasons, psychological reasons, theological reasons, sociological reasons, reincarnation is probably the most important element in the trajectory of a soul in its learning to grow. Because you can't be prejudiced if you subscribe to reincarnation and you realize that whatever position I'm in now as a white Irish male, I've been in all of the other configurations in past lifetimes. So to be prejudiced against anybody in any configuration is absolutely
meaningless, is what he said. Oh, I guess that didn't go in there. Wayne Dyer said, "Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You get to choose." I believe that when I watch things like of a mystic like this man that had decided to go the Catholic route and then found that there was so much more to his unearthing as a spiritual being in this world. That's why we always use Edgar Cayce's work, the most documented psychic of all time. Okay. Am I warring with you with the PowerPoints up there? Okay. You're throwing me off. So Edgar Cayce speaks to this a little bit, and I'm going to talk about this from what that gentleman just shared. In Cayce's explanation of reincarnation, when we die, the next life does not occur immediately. for our soul is given a chance to take stock of all it has come to know. Then we decide for ourselves what lessons we need to learn next. If we are to return to the earthly plane, it is likely that our soul will choose to be among people we have known before. This is referred to as a soul group. We can choose to be born male or female in any given lifetime, or, as Casey often called it, incarnation. The choices made are such that our soul might be best fulfill the specific purpose chosen for a particular lifetime. We select surroundings. We select parents and family, location, time, period, etc. That will best allow us to learn those lessons we need for completeness. So, one of the things that this gentleman went into in an interview that I listened to yesterday that was really, really wonderful, and I will send it out because it was really, really good, but he was talking about how we discover what our purpose is in this world and our karma in this lifetime, right? So he talked about a lot of times we wonder why things happen to us. We want to know the why. Why do I keep having something similar happen maybe every decade or every 8 years? And we have to look at the congruency between when those things happen. And he said you should look in 7-year time, so like 0 to 7. Who are the main players in your life and what was the big learning of that 7 years? And then 7 to 14. Who are the big players in that time and what was the big thing that happened in that lifetime, that 7 years, that you had to overcome? And you do it all the way up till whatever age you are. And you'll find a current of, it will be a different circumstance, but it'll be the same emotions that are met by our soul, right? Because Edgar Cayce says we're either here to grow as a soul, or we will go backwards. Sometimes, addictions or abusive relationships, things like this will make us go backwards. We have free will to not move forward spiritually. We have free will to do whatever we want here. But if we step into the divine work and we recognize that we're souls that are here to grow, we will find a current that's showing us that thing that's difficult over and over again is because we haven't gone deep enough into it to grow the soul. So that's why it repeats itself. So it's not to be against you or wanting to hurt you or to destroy you, but this is what your soul chose to come in to overcome this lifetime. And some people might just fall to the bottle and decide not to because it's too difficult, because you might have supposedly grabbed more than you thought you could handle this lifetime, and you don't have faith that something is moving you in and through this moment to step into the majesty of what you're put here to do and be. So you go backwards. And it's all a choice. These are all the choices we make. And then karmically, things that are difficult people that come into our life that we immediately had just a feeling of dislike are probably friends and families from the other lifetime that we're here to also clean up. So they come into our boss, they end up being our bosses, they end up being our children, they end up being different people. They're going to play it out, and you're like, why is this person so annoying? And you don't even know them yet. Have you ever had that? You just have like an immediate dislike to somebody? That's karma. That's what's coming over here. It's not that God's punishing. There's no separate God that's trying to punish. What karma actually is, broken down, Edgar Cayce says it's memory. Karma is memory. So it's what we remember on a subconscious level of other lifetimes that we're here to clean up. Cool stuff, right? So, I want to move on. So I want to go into this. So a little over a week ago, I had one of these moments where for over 4 years, there has been an intention that I have stayed true to. Not completely seeing the outcome and what form it would come in, but I knew it was needed and it was necessary in my life. However Spirit would make it manifest in my life, I was open to. It wasn't necessarily a personal need, but a universal need for the greater good of my purpose and my work and its unfolding. I started to see it coming into fruition about 6 months ago, and everything was falling into place. I started to really see and feel the outcome falling into place, so much so that I didn't look or wasn't even open to any other outcome or unfoldment. I would say I put all my energy into this particular focus, or all my eggs in this basket. And a few weeks ago, it all fell through, and all my faith in this particular outcome went from yes, it's coming, to a no. This avenue is pretty much closed now. And it was so sudden and so shocking to my soul. Everything was falling into place. I could feel it. I had let go of the oars. The boat was going down the river, but in hindsight, looking at it, I was sort of directing where that boat had to go. I wasn't completely in let go. I thought I was in surrender. But now in hindsight, after having this moment happen, I'm like, ugh, I wasn't completely in surrender. It was so sudden and so shocking to my soul. My inner being went into shock for a few days. And then the truth of its falling through landed in my body as a migraine. The darkness swept over me, and I was in bed for a few days. I felt I needed to grieve this for a minute and not force myself to pull out of it immediately. And when you've been on this journey, you learn that, right? Life is hard. It is not easy, and especially when I've been working so hard for a different outcome and getting the same result from all the ways I'm meditating, all of it. It's a different time now. It doesn't fall in our lap from the think and have. The faith just has to be in this unseen realm, and it's going to come when God's going to let it happen. It's just the way it is now. We used to be able to think and have a little bit easier, but now we really have to take to task the presence process and just trust that everything's going to work out. So the darkness swept over me, and I went into grief for a few days. I felt I needed to grieve this for a little bit, and I told my husband, just leave me. I knew that I was in it. I knew this was a soul thing because it uprooted all of my deep insecurities. The cycles that I've seen probably every 14 years that appears that makes me go deeper into this something that is not healed in me. And I know that I don't need to carry people through it when I'm in that place. I have to just be with God. And I just needed to sleep for a while before I was ready to face what it is that needed to deepen inside of me. So those insecurities were bubbling up, ones that have repeated themselves each decade of my life. I knew this one was one of those. I didn't sit in it and visit it. My soul growth would not land for good. So I knew if I didn't sit there and be with it, my soul growth would not land. So listen to this. When you start to really get that it's about soul growth, when we're facing difficult stuff, we can't run from it. And it doesn't always show up when it's really an opportune time, right? It might be a really busy time and you don't really have time to just but my body just said, no, you've got a headache that's so beyond. You're going to be in a dark room and you're going to be with self and spirit. And then I started to articulate finally where I was with my husband. And the tears started to fall. The tears of all this work, all of the having to let go, all the disappointment that came from that decision, and the tears helped my head go into my heart. That was my heart. The tears were my truth. And that's when the healing began. That's when the light started to come back. And the second I started crying, my headache started to disappear. It wasn't about this outer thing that I was looking to that had to shift. I thought it was. But the truth was every outer circumstance is bringing us deeper and deeper into an understanding of our relationship with self and God. After I shared this message with my husband, this song just kept coming up in my head, And so I'm just going to sing it with you. We're just going to sing this affirmation because it was like Spirit so had these words for me just to keep singing in my mind and in my body and in my heart. Let me get a little sip of water here.
Spirit, lead me where my truth is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of your love. Spirit, lead me where my truth is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my
And the message is this: the universe doesn't want you to chase it. The universe wants you to realize that you are already it. And just be. Stop chasing the thing you want. You're implying that they are running away from you. Instead, become the things you want and attract them. That's the only way you can get what you want. If you are the universe, understand that you have already everything you need. So stop acting like you don't. If you know you have what you want already by law, those things will begin to appear in your physical reality. But any amount of doubt will end the process there. You know what you are. You are the power. Thank you.
Well, it's clear the world needs to rise to a higher vibration, and your donations help us do this, because raising the world's vibration is Unity's mission. Raising the vibration of your life is our mission. So today we are asking you to contribute to that mission. To be clear, Unity is in a critical place. The lower vibration of the world has affected our finances here. And you should know that currently we are operating at a deficit of about $10,000 per month. Whew. That is, we require about $43,000 a month to operate, and we are receiving just about $33,000 a month. So in order for this center of light and love to be sustainable, there needs to be an increase in our offering each month of about $10,000. So if you are watching this in person or online, know that Unity is about being of service to this world. And by asking you to contribute, we are also asking you to be in the flow and the service to the world. And the most powerful way that ideally that you could help us is by doing a recurring donation. By doing a recurring donation, we can strategize and plan and introduce those activities and initiatives that we want to present to you. And there are two easy ways to do recurring donations. One is there's a form out in the lobby. You can just fill that out and drop it off in the office. And the other one is this big blue button. If you go to our website and you Unity Boulder, give, and then you'll see that big blue button, and that will take you to a page that you can do single and recurring of all different types. In addition today, because we really want to inspire you to do that, anyone who does a recurring donation today will get one of our really nice ceramic mugs. So if you're a coffee fiend like me, this is, to your heart. So if you do that and you bring a form in, we'll give you one of our ceramic mugs. So that is about our regular giving, but I wanted to also mention that we still have that golden opportunity to give above and beyond your regular giving, because we had a very generous person give us a matching donation of $10,000. So if you, on top of your regular giving, write a check or a note that says match, then we can put that against that matching donation of $10,000. Right now we're about $7,900 out of 10,000. So there's an opportunity here for that. And if you want to do that in the blue button, you can just click on there and there's a notes field and you can just say match. So let's raise the vibration of this planet together. Thank you in advance for joining Unity and being service to this planet.
Well, we have the opportunity once again to acknowledge what is truly valuable. What is truly valuable is consciousness. It's everything. And so we are so blessed to be able to share in the ways we open our consciousness to the reality of the presence of God in our lives and bring forth the fruits of that truth. So having received that today again, let's now give in relationship to that, bringing into our hands and into our minds that financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless this gift with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have Marcy to share her incredible music with us once again.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing. With the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is here in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing. People you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. We don't need to know that now. We're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. We will do You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when we're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Here we go. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Here we go. Amazing. I believe you.
So beautiful. It's one of my favorites. My first one's my favorite too. All the songs you do are my favorite. I just love you. You're just so good.
Best.
All right, so we have prayer partners available to you. If you're facing a challenge, you can just stay seated in your seat, and these beautiful prayer partners with the white sashes on will come and visit you in the sanctuary or take you down the meditation room, which is more private, to have a conversation and pray with you. We have a discussion group after that I will lead in a circle right at the back of the sanctuary back here. If you'd like to speak further on this talk, we can have a nice sharing for about a half an hour. We'll probably start that in about 10 minutes. So go get some refreshments and some coffee, and then come and meet me back there in about 10 minutes. What else? I think
Got it
that's
covered.
all right.
You covered it with that talk.
Oh,
You did.
thank you.
You said it, just all that needed to be said.
All right,
Good
well, I
done.
appreciate that. Oh, there's a bake sale today with the YOU, and they're going on a youth trip. The 14 and 18-year-olds are going to be going to, I can't remember what state, but they're going to go be with a bunch of other YOUers and have this spiritual time for 3 or 4 days. It's an amazing opportunity for like-minded young people to find their spirituality together. They don't really use the word God. All they really use is source and spirit. It's just very much just having a blast with other spiritual people that are ready to, discover and play with crystals and intuition and, work really neat things where they start to learn how to harness this powerful energy. So when you buy these baked goods, remember you're supporting these young people that are our future. They are the future of this world. So let's all rise and close with I release and I let go, and then we'll go into let there be peace on earth. Here we go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release.
In the Spirit,
Sound great.
in my heart. Yes, I'm only here for God.
No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light.
I'm free.
I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Beautiful singing.